What it do, you too? Today's video, I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. In today's video, I want to talk about the war on certain bloodlines. Yes, the war on certain bloodlines. So first things first, that tree right there, that pine tree and that sun, that is a dope image. But first things first, I want to say this. The current state of America right now is at the worst it's ever been. Like, don't get me wrong, I know we had the Great Depression and all that shit. 1930, which I wasn't even born yet, you know what I mean? But if you go back and do your research of history and shit like that, it was bad, but that even wasn't as bad as some other things that happened in the world, you know what I mean? But there was a tumultuous time, but if you look at what's going on right now, because we could talk about what happened yesterday, we could talk about what happened 20 years ago, 10 years ago, we could talk about that, because it's a memory. Excuse me, it's a memory, but we can talk about what's going on right now. There's a war on certain bloodlines. Yes, there's a war on certain bloodlines, especially here in America, Turtle Island. See what I'm saying? Real talk. And this is like a broad spectrum. Like, this topic is a broad spectrum, because like this shit, it goes so deep that it goes deeper than like just what's happening like in general. Like for example, it's a certain war on bloodlines. It's a war on certain bloodlines here in America. To the fact that, look at it like this: every time I go on like Zachary Hubbard page, Gematria Sports News, shout out Zachary Hubbard. I fuck with him. You know what I mean? He got some real deep info. Just like Call Me Kinfo, he got some real good info too. You know what I mean? But speaking of Zachary Hubbard, every time I go on his page, he always talk about how another football player was found dead. And no, this is not just about football players. This is just an example. Like I said, this is a broad spectrum. This topic is a broad spectrum. It's always another athlete found dead. And no, I'm not saying he reporting it is bad. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's good. He reporting it so we can know. But it's like it was just some dude found dead on the Baltimore Ravens. There's some other dude. Like, it's so many like football players and athletes that's been found dead. So many celebrities and shit that get killed because it's a war on their particular bloodline. Because like these people, especially when it comes to sports, I been kind of knew about this, but not like on the effect with the gematria stuff. But I kind of been knew about this back in high school. Like, sports is fascist. It's all organized and it's all rigged. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's an outcome, a predicted winner. And once a lot of these athletes find out, and a lot of these athletes are from impoverished areas like the ghetto, the hood. A lot of these people are from these areas. And when they find out that what they gotta do or what's going on in these leagues, they don't even be wanting to participate anymore. So that means they get put up for a sacrifice, then they just get found dead. It's like a lot of these actors and actresses and shit like that, but it haven't even really been happening in like Hollywood like that. Like, it's even having rappers here and there, but a lot of rappers not in Hollywood. You see what I'm saying? But it hasn't been happening in like that, because like you gotta remember, sports is entertainment too. So I can't just say the entertainment business, because sports is entertainment too. But it's been happening a lot and sports. In the sports section of entertainment, you know, it's been a lot of athletes being found dead because they've been put up for a sacrifice because they don't want to participate in the shit that they have to do. Like in the Illuminati, that nasty Illuminati shit that they gotta do and all that. They don't want to participate in it. They get put up for a sacrifice. Same thing with a lot of these actors, actresses, and all that. But to put the icing on the cake, like I said, Zachary Hubbard, he do the gematria, he do the numerology on it. You feel me? But just looking at it from a spiritual point of view or a metaphysical point of view, you can even put this shit into everyday people. Look how many everyday people lost their lives to some bullshit. I'll wait. Look how many everyday people lost their lives to some bullshit. A lot, because it's a war on a particular bloodline. Or they got a certain DNA strand or a certain blood type that these elite motherfuckers want to survive. It might not make sense to you right now, but if you really think about it, that's why you are a targeted individual. That's why I'm a targeted individual. The bloodline I come from. Certain bloodline you come from is being hunted. It's being targeted. You may not know it yet because you in a dumbed down state. I was in a dumbed down state, so I know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't get it 100% yet. Like, you hearing what I'm saying, but you like, I still can't put the picture together. But it will come. It will come together for you eventually, especially if you really trying to figure out what's going on. But it's like, yeah, that's why you being attacked, you being targeted, because they want your bloodline extinct. They want my bloodline extinct. You see what I'm saying? Because you have so much power within you. See the sun getting bright as I talk. Excuse me. You have so much power within you, especially when you awaken to who you really are, that scares these entities. Especially when you are an athlete. You got millions of, hundreds of thousands, millions of followers. Hundreds of thousands of millions of subscribers. Especially when you're a rapper. You got hundreds of thousands of millions and tens of millions and hundreds of millions of followers. This motherfucker wake up to the truth. He can end this shit right now. So we gotta send some shots out on something to send a message. You see what I'm saying? And when you sleep, and you don't get it 100% yet, that's what they like the best, because they're like, okay, this motherfucker has so much power in him. But he's been dumbed down to the point where he don't even recognize his power. He like that. But at the same time, they still scared because they know the DNA could change at any moment. You could boom, Christ consciousness. That's why at these times, why you think it's so much different biological warfare going on. I'm gonna give you an example. If you in any major city, and sometimes the city ain't even gotta be major. If you got even over 100,000 motherfuckers, over 100,000 motherfuckers, they doing experiments on your city too. But let's say from any major city, move out the city for a weekend if you can. Go to like one of them little outback type of areas. I mean, make sure it's safe and all that shit. But go to one of them little outback areas that you can see the city from the small town, and I guarantee you gonna see some type of chemical fog layering over the city. Chemtrails, biological warfare. COVID-19, Omicron. You know, the same person who give you the antidote is the same person who creates the poison. Biological warfare. They put this shit in the sky. This shit is airborne. They doing this shit. They put it. They give you the hint to the movies. It's just a movie. This shit ain't real. They give you the hints. But the thing is, are you gonna figure it out? Probably not. You see what I'm saying? But this is just part one. This is just part one. I don't mean to end it like this, but this is just part one for now. I'm gonna come back with part two.